Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Mastering Perspective in Photoshop. My name is Kirk Nelson, and I am a regular instructor here at Tuts Plus. I'm also a professional graphics artist with nearly 20 years of experience. My work has been published over 300 times in international trade publications, and it's my pleasure to bring this course to you. Now, the whole point of this course is to learn how to deal with perspective in Photoshop. Perspective is one of those topics that artists have struggled with through the centuries. It's difficult to relate a 3D world in a 2D artistic realm. The way our site works, things that are further away appear to be smaller than things that are closer up. Now, it's not as simple as that. There's these wonderful things called vanishing points, and that's really what we're going to get into. Just about any image you look at falls into one of the three major vanishing point systems. First is the single vanishing point, or one-point perspective. This will be the first one that we look at. It's the simplest and, pardon the pun, the most straightforward of the perspective systems. After that, we'll deal with two-point perspective. This is known as the workhorse of the perspective systems because most of the images you see use a two-point perspective, so it has two different vanishing points. And lastly, we'll get into the three-point perspective systems. These are more accurate and can create larger, more epic type of scenery. The general rhythm of this course is to learn, practice, apply. I've used that system in several of my courses here, and I find that it's a really good way to learn something. So for each chapter, we'll have first some instruction where I tell you about the concepts and the fundamentals behind what we're doing. After that comes a practice session where you get to get your hands wet and start working with some of these things that we've learned in the previous lesson. And then finally, there's the application lesson where we take the skills that we've learned and the concepts that we've seen and we put them all together into a more real life type of project. Now, I do see this as a beginner to intermediate level course. So I do expect you to have some knowledge of Photoshop. You should know how to use the interface. You should be aware of concepts like layers and masks and how to use the paths within Photoshop. Now, my goal in all of my classes is for you to learn and grow as a digital artist. If you come out of this class and you're not even happy with the way that your products ended up, even if you've learned something, if you've grown it even a small bit as a digital artist, I consider it a success, and I think you should too. So with that, let's get things started. Launch lesson 1.2, where I'll talk about the tools and resources that you'll need to complete this course.